Hi, Namo Namo. Greetings to everyone, world over, all our brothers and sisters across the globe. We extend you a very hearty welcome, warm welcome, Tuesday evening, 6th of August 2024. It's a beautiful galaxy, very captivating. These are wonderful teachers from entire Sikkim. When you see them, it's the capacity building program that point of time in 2017 under the dynamic leadership of the secretary education and all other stakeholders. Those were there. Such a beautiful remembrance of beautiful moments. Now, from capacity building, we have moved to capability building. So when we talk about capability building teachers innovative way, let's take on the journey together. And we have got some wonderful insights today for you. What could be the nuances, particularly when we have the changing teachers' behavior in 2024? There's too much of demand from teachers. The new education policy 2020 has got lots of things which has been uploaded, you know, in expectations. But at the same time, do we give them sufficient time to do their work where they can do research? They should not be more into the administrative and other works. Rather, they should do their own research, prepare their own modules, contents, and programs, and they can render and they can deliver the whole program in a beautiful way. Let's talk about the nuances of the changing teacher behaviors in 2024. Now, when you talk about it in an it en- encompass a multifaceted approach that recognizes the evolving landscape of education and the diverse needs of students. Key factors influencing these changes, particularly 2024, when we talk about, they include the integration of technology, the emphasis on social emotional learning, and at the same time, the shift towards student centered pedagogies. Well, teachers are increasingly required to adapt their instructional strategies to incorporate digital tool and the available resources, fostering an interactive and engaging learning environment. Additionally, there's a growing focus on developing teachers' emotional intelligence to better support students' well-being and foster inclusive classrooms. Professional development programs are now prioritizing personalized learning paths, offering continuous, flexible, and relevant training that aligns with the individual teacher goals and the dynamic demand of the educational sector. Looking ahead, the future strategy for changing teacher behavior involves a holistic and sustained efforts. This includes leveraging data driven insights to tailor professional development, fostering collaborative communities of practice, and embedding, their reflective practices into the daily routine of educators. Emphasis will also be placed on mentoring and coaching models to provide ongoing support and feedback. Let's proceed. Some strategies that school teachers can use. Now, basically, there are six elements that we need to consider are awareness, perception, knowledge, lesson phase, teacher habits, and of course, students' habits. Today's session I owe and I dedicate to Learn with Lee, something very interesting when I've gone through. I thought I should share with all of you because our chamber is deeply thinking about it. How from capacity building to capability building. And at the same time, let's focus on teachers. Those are from kindergarten to fifth class, because in the new education policy from sixth class onwards, the expectations are altogether different. And the pedagogies and everything, whatsoever we talk about, it's all of a different dimensions. Great. If that is the focus and that is the way we are moving on, let's see what basically is in the storage and what all we can do from our chamber as far as the innovative strategies are concerned. So, six elements, please do remember: awareness, perception, knowledge, lesson phase, teacher habits, and of course, on the top of the shelf, very important, students' habits. Teacher awareness. Artificial intelligence is coming in a very big way in education. Now, over here, the question comes: teachers, are they aware that there is a problem or that there could be improvements? When providing professional learning, we are asking staff to change what they think about something and their behavior. What we know about change is that for it to happen, the teacher needs to be contemplating it. Have they been presented with the evidence that there is a need for this new theory or a technique? Do they agree that there is a problem? Often we can be fooled by poor proxies for learning, such as students' compliance, not necessarily actively learning, but above average assessment scores can hide the fact that there is a large gap between the top and bottom, and the students completing work, not necessarily that it has been understood. Now, what could be the suggested strategy? Start with the evidence, present data that shows that there is a problem and that change is needed in order to improve. As Vivian Robinson tells us, we need to engage them with our theories of action rather than bypassing them in the decision making process. Teachers' perception. Do they perceive that they understand the new concept and the new techniques which are required, desirable in education ecosystem? When professional learning is provided to teachers, it will fit within their existing ideologies of what constitute good pedagogy. This is based on their previous experiences, background knowledge, as well as their biases, their expectation, their explanations about how people learn. Research suggests that a teacher mental model may hold the key to determining whether they make significant change in their practice or continue with their business as usual. Where we over assimilate and interpret new ideas within the existing frameworks and so make only superficial changes to practice when much deeper changes are required. Olive Lowell gives a great example of how we can over assimilate, excuse me, the ideas in this article on the split attention effect. Another cognitive bias that impacts on our perception is the Dunning-Kruger effect. That means where we believe we know more about something than we do. So, what could be the suggested strategy? Like when we teach our students, professional learning providers need to constantly check for understanding: are there any misconceptions? Do they understand the essential mechanism, or are they over assimilating the ideas? Teachers' knowledge. What level of knowledge do they actually have on the concept? Teaching is essentially a series of actions. Therefore, the only way we can know if a teacher has truly learned something is by observing them to do it. We want teachers to be able to apply their learning in the classroom by using their improved mental models to make better decisions. Okay? As you really get into the science of learning, you realize how much every little aspect can be broken down. However, school leaders need to focus on making tiny shifts in practice rather than wholesale changes to avoid cognitively overloading teachers. What could be the suggested strategy? To support this effect, you know, Bamrick has come up with a model: see it, name it, and do it. This is all about making abstract concepts clear for teachers to understand. Bamrick writes about going, the granular and painting a picture of the technique. This process is evident in teachers' guides like Dong Lamo, Teach Like a Champion, and teaching walkthroughs. There are a couple of things. New models are coming up in education ecosystem and teachers, because 50 hours are compulsory for your training, including principals, vice principals, headmasters, administrators. Everybody has to undergo 50 hours compulsory program every year. Now, teachers' lesson phase. Is this new technique to be performed in the classroom or out of the classroom in the lesson preparation phase? How lesson preparation? This area is easier to change due to the fact that there is a less pressure for teachers to perform with fluency and not feeling like there are 30 students ready to pounce if a mistake is made. In the classroom, if the new technique needs to be applied, then we need to deliberately practice it. We are aiming to develop a level of automaticity so that we can still be responsive to the reactions from our students. Teacher habits, the child, and there are three areas: the philosophy, the teacher, and the environment. Are we asking teachers to break a habit, or is it just a different way of doing things? In his book, Habits of Success, Harry, Fletcher, and Woods, they say that habits make teaching easier, but make change harder. There is the perception that it can be harder to shift the practices of more experienced teachers. This is probably due to the habits being more ingrained in what they do. Novice teachers are usually less set in their ways, although the Dunning-Kruger, effect can still get them, and potentially they are more adaptive. However, they will probably have less content knowledge, so teaching performance with the new techniques will not necessarily be more effective than the experienced teachers. We could provide the best, most evidence informed, but if the teacher decide it's not for them, then there is a little chance of making meaningful changes. Sustainable change will only occur if the teachers they feel there is a sense of autonomy. What could be the suggested strategy? Prompting action planning. It needs to include at least one of the context, frequency, duration, and intensify of the techniques. Prompting context specific repetitions. This is where the teachers are intentionally rehearsing and repeating the behavior in the same context as it would be in the classroom. Let's see students' habits. Do we require students to learn a new routine to make changing teacher behavior even more complex? We also have to deal with the fact that we might be needing to change student habits at the same time as teacher habits. So, there is a lack of time, there's a workload issues. One of the biggest tensions, one has to struggle to deal with is asking teachers to commit to their learning, where I know how hard it can be to focus after full day teaching, and at the same time, teachers are not getting sufficient time to do research, to prepare, and to go totally equipped with their all technological tools while getting inside the classroom. We need to make time for teachers to learn, observe, collaborate, and reflect on their practices. Now, Guskey's model of teachers change: professional development, change in teachers' classroom practices, change in students' learning outcomes, and change in teachers' belief and attitudes. How to improve the mental health of teacher? Access to professional counseling services, mental health workshops and training, peer support structure, adequate resources and support, work-life balance, mental health policies and awareness. Now, mental health for teachers, when we talk about why is mental health so important as far as our teachers are concerned, please remember, we should avoid their burning out. We should increase their productivity. We should take care of in order to avoid lashing out, to create work-life balance. We should help them to improve their memories. We should boost their energy levels and we should enhance their performance output. What are the changes in the education system, particularly when half the 2024 has gone by? Focus on soft skills, online and hybrid learning, virtual and augmented reality in education. The other day, I was talking to certain people in Bangalore. Augmented reality, virtual reality, metaverse, what all is coming up in a very big way. Personalized learning. The future is going to be self paced learning in your own time, at your own place, with your own mood, in your own environment. You got to have a personalized learning. And this assessment system, this all has to be reimagined, rethought, not too much of pressure of exams, too much of exams. Increase focus on the mental health. And at the same time, when we say world is the global village, there's a global collaboration. And of course, why not our education should be relevant to our day-to-day life, day-to-day living, and whatever we do, right from the getting up in the morning till we go to sleep, whatever happens in our day routine, I think everything should be integrated in our education ecosystem. And from skills, let's move to competencies, competencies to talents, and talents to passions. And further strategies have to be developed. What could be the joyful learning environment? So, ladies and gentlemen, basically, we got to move now from, basically, when we talk about capacity building, let's go to collaborative, collaborative learning. There is a collaboration which we have to work it out. And there got to be a capability learning. We got to enhance the capability of every teacher. And we got to bring in more curiosity in the education ecosystem. I think it is very, very important. We all have to understand. Take care of your health, take care of your mental wellness, stay fit, stay fine. We have come in this universe to perform a particular role, do it the best possible way. Of course, challenges would be there, difficulties would be there, problems will be there, but well, they're the part up and down, up and down, up and down like a AC current. It will keep moving that way. It will never ever go. The moment it is flat, it means it's a departure. Our Chamber for Service Industry brought a wonderful finishing school. And now, post pandemic, we have also added a digital inspirational lab. And the total focus is whatever we are learning, whatever we are picking up, what's its utility in our day to day life? And why education and why learning can't be joyful, happiness, dance, music, humor, fun, games, and gamification. Let's adopt technology and we meet again, yet with some more thoughts, making education and skills relevant, helping our teachers, brothers and sisters, we do their handholding for their professional and personal growth. See you tomorrow at 9 p.m. Stay fit, stay fine, look after yourself, be positive, talk positive, live positive, think positive, dream positive, sleep positive, get up positive, 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 positive. Remember, there are certain things in your hand and there are certain things beyond you. Whatever is in your hand, do the best possible way. Whatever is beyond you, leave it to Almighty.